Native CDFIs are helping Wisconsin's tribal nations recover from the pandemic by providing forgivable loans and business management assistance. This support is helping Native entrepreneurs rebuild their businesses and create jobs, which is building a more sustainable future for Wisconsin's tribal nations. Join us to hear inspiring stories of Indigenous entrepreneurs and tribal enterprises building wealth and creating sustainable futures. So in 2010, I lost my job, and I was an employee with a national corporation. I had just gotten married, just bought a house, and went in one day, the carpet was pulled out from underneath me. So I lost my job. Yeah, those times for me were a lot of sleepless nights. It wasn't that I stopped believing. I just didn't think it'd be so hard. Just telling myself that it's all right. I think I did that. I think I had to,
Well, at the time, Craig Anderson, the executive director of First American Capital Corp. and a president of the American Indian Chamber of Commerce, Craig, informed me that he just met an individual who was starting a business called Perodigm.
My friends who I went to high school with, JJ and Matt, had a production company called Silverwater. It was always my dream to be in production. I started just doing some contract work for them. I created Perodigm Design Studio LLC, January 23rd, 2012. That was how I kind of got back into being a creative, but also this is how I became a business owner.
Before Rob and I officially started together, he had made a connection with Gary and Craig at the American Indian Chamber of Commerce. It was from day one, there was just this fire of what they could do, and that attracted Rob immediately.
He joined the chamber, and his name was Rob Perrell, and he was an enrolled member of the Bad River Band of Lake Superior Chippewa. What we liked about Rob's business is it was professional services, marketing and advertising, website design is a key need among many Native American-owned businesses.
A few weeks later, I actually got a call from the executive director, Craig Anderson, that asked if I, was a real business first, in his, gruff tone, and asked if I did websites. He said, "We need a website." I'm like, "Okay, this is great. Is there anything I have to do?" I'd done a few websites, but I felt that this was a big deal. They gave me my first, real opportunities. It was good to feel some value. I had found a group that had believed in me, that does believe in me, and I just kept showing up.
Early into his membership, he was, again wanting to really launch Perodigm Design Studios. It was actually October 4, 2016, that Craig actually introduced Rob to First American Capital Corporation.
That's where I got my first business loan. I got $10,000 for a drone and some computer equipment. And at the time I was doing licensed drone work and going around to golf courses and doing a lot of real estate and commercial work. It was awesome.
I think Rob is a good example of how to use the value propositions at both the Chamber and FACC. And of course, down the road, Rob, being a sort of serial entrepreneur, subsequently launched Indigenous, and FACC was again there to assist him and the Chamber with technical assistance.
FACC was originally the sister organization to the Chamber of Commerce. This was back in 2002. The Chamber formed First American Capital Corporation as a revolving loan fund to address the financial and technical assistance needs of their communities that they work in. We work with the same communities, we have the same target market, but we have different specializations that we can provide to the clients. And so there are times when we recognize that the Chamber would be a good fit for some of our clients, and the Chamber recognizes when they've got candidates that are ready for that next step financing. Now we've got full-time staff that are dedicated to this, that can really sit down and and take these programs to the next level. The pandemic definitely impacted our communities. We've got very close-knit communities. Most of our portfolio, we stayed healthy. And the CDFIs worked together in tandem with the chambers to take that big government resources that were coming down, some of the grants, and disperse that strategically to the people that needed it the most. We held hands with our community all the way through the pandemic, and we saw a large portion of our client base definitely bounce back, and a lot of them are doing a lot better than they were before the pandemic.
It's important to have all voices at the table. It's important that the Indigenous voices at the table so that they understand our unique perspectives and our unique worldviews.
The beautiful thing about the chamber is you can help us build this. I would just recommend anyone, like if there's a local chamber for you to join, if there's a local CDFI for you to work with, network with them. They have experience dealing with exactly what you're going through from a Native perspective. That's why you join groups like that, because you want to be around collectives and peers that are going to lift you up. That's what they do.
Everybody knows American Indian Chamber of Commerce. They know the name. The name's been out there a long time, and it's been a good impact. That's where I just want to see us get more involved going forward. Let's give them benefits. Let's give them value at the chamber to help these people grow. We have to keep the Native businesses strong.
If you're an existing Native business and you have yet to join the chamber, what are you waiting for? Come on, like, we're not just trades, we're not just gaming, we're ever evolving. Our extension into the professional and the legal and the finance world, insurance world, and all that, the consulting world, is growing at such a rapid rate. So the more experience and diversity that we can get in our chamber, the stronger we're going to be together. Join the movement. The Resilience, Recovery, and Prosperity series, showcasing tribal economic development and the strength of the Indigenous economy. Brought to you by the Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation, the Wisconsin Indigenous Economic Development Corporation, the Department of Administration, and the American Indian Chamber of Commerce of Wisconsin. The Wisconsin Indigenous Economic Development Corporation is a coalition of nonprofit Native community development financial institutions, CDFIs. Our mission is to expand Native economic development by building the financial sovereignty of Native individuals, families, Native-owned businesses, tribal enterprises, and communities in Wisconsin. This project is being supported in whole or in part by the American Rescue Plan Act funds awarded to the Wisconsin Indigenous Economic Development Corporation by the Wisconsin Department of Administration by the United States Department of the Treasury. The Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation, WIEDC, is pleased to serve as a Wisconsin Indigenous Economic Development Corporation key strategic partner. This video was made possible in part from support of the Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation.